RESTOREVISION is a project funded by the European Commission to advance new treatments for rare eye diseases in Europe. Rare eye diseases, or RETs, are a major cause of visual impairment and blindness, affecting patients of all ages. Currently, many RETs have few treatments available, which are often ineffective and cause significant side effects. To tackle this medical need, RESTOREVISION aims to create and test new treatments for a group of 7 RETs affecting the cornea and ocular surface. By repurposing existing genetic drugs, developing new treatments, and conducting pioneering first-in-human studies to ensure their safety and effectiveness. I am very hopeful that we will develop novel treatments that may have benefit for many rare disease patients and have a real impact on patient lives in the future.
Mesenchymal stromal cells are cells derived from bone marrow or other tissues and have been shown to have therapeutic efficacy to modulate inflammation and tissue regeneration in several diseases. Mesenchymal stromal cells secrete tiny little vesicles, often termed extracellular vesicles, which have been shown to mediate their therapeutic properties and which we will be investigating in RESTOREVISION. We thoroughly characterize these extracellular vesicles to make sure they meet all the required criteria, safety profile, and therapeutic effectiveness. During the lifetime of RESTOREVISION, we hope to generate significant in vitro and preclinical data together with our project partners, which will allow us to meet the safety and efficacy requirements needed for a future clinical trial.
Our cornea research group are developing models of rare eye diseases for the RESTOREVISION project. So our main focus is to test the effectiveness, feasibility, and the safety of the new and repurposed drugs that are being evaluated for RESTOREVISION. We work with the disease commonalities across the 7 rare diseases in RESTOREVISION. For example, there are a number of different biological processes that are common to these diseases, but many things have to be determined before we can think about giving a new drug candidate to patients. For example, what is the right concentration of the drug that should be applied, and how often should it be applied? What is the correct drug delivery method? Should we inject the drug or should we give it as a eye drop formulation, for example? And finally, when is it best to give the drug? At what stage of the disease would the drug have the best possible effect? How are we going to measure or determine if it's achieved the desired effect? All these things can be tested first in our rare disease models, which will then give us the information we need to design the clinical trials for patients.
There are 3 expert clinical centers. One is here in France at Assistance Publique and INSERM. Another one is at the University of Cologne in Germany. And one is at the Ospedale San Raffaele in Italy. We aim to assess the expression of genes, protein, and pathways of interest in human tissue samples of patients with rare eye disease that are targeted by the proposed experimental drugs to gain more information on their mechanism of action. Here also in INSERM, we are leading work package 3, which is developing new formulation of the different experimental drugs that can be used in humans. And we are testing their toxicity as drugs and also as new formulations so that they can be ready to go for clinical application. It's a very important aspect because we are treating this rare disease with patients that have absolutely no treatments every day in our clinic. And we hope that after having demonstrated the safety, we will be able to go up to the clinical application, the first phase in first clinical trials. And this is particularly important to me because these are rare disease and it's very difficult to have the involvement of pharmaceutical company. We are using already known drug, repurposed drugs, so that we can hope to have them very soon in the clinic available for our patients.
Aniridia is one of the rare eye diseases that RESTOREVISION focuses on, developing effective treatments that are lacking today. I represent Aniridia Europe, which is a federation of Aniridia associations established to provide support and share knowledge to the people living with Aniridia. And Aniridia Europe is a partner of the RESTOREVISION project, and we are involved in 3 main areas: bringing the patient voice to the project, being involved in ethical aspects, but also being involved in communication. And one could say that we act as a bridge, bringing the patient in very early stages of the project, developing new treatment methods, but also communicating back to the patients the progress that the research is actually making to improve the quality of life of aniridia patients. We are one of the organizations, or one of the rare diseases that RESTOREVISION is actually focusing on. There are 6 other rare diseases. So one of our tasks is also to reach out and to involve other rare diseases. And this is something that we have realized is very important for the patients, empowering them with knowledge about the latest research that they can also bring to the healthcare system. But this is, I think, the way forward, working with research with the help of patients.